Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Thanks for being here if you're still here. I know I have been away for a little bit and I didn't do last month's readings. Just honestly, energy-wise, was not feeling super great. But things are better now and I'm hoping to get back into doing full readings for each of the signs. But for today, I wanted to do a summer solstice reading for all of the signs. So the summer solstice is today, June 20th. And for those of us in the Northern Hemisphere, it's the longest day of the year. We're at the halfway mark of the year. It's that time where light and dark are equal, and it's a time to think about, letting in the light, letting in the dark as well, but basically thinking about what you want to be welcoming in and what you want to be releasing. So I will do all the signs. These will be fairly brief and general. So if something doesn't resonate, feel free to check your other placements to get a more global reading. All right, and if anything I do say does resonate or provide insight or guidance, please like, comment, and subscribe. Would love to have you here and would love to continue reading for you. So we'll jump right in, starting with Aries. What's the message for Aries this summer solstice? Two of Pentacles in reverse. Anything else for Aries? Two of Pentacles in reverse and Eight of Wands in reverse. So Aries, I think the message for you here is all about re-examining your priorities and specifically thinking about what are some of the things you've been saying yes to that you need to start saying no to, right? I think some of you have been taking on a lot, whether that's in your jobs or even in your sort of relationships. The kind of emotional workload or the emotional labor that's been taking on is currently not super balanced. So the message for the summer solstice for you is to slow down. Eight of Wands here. Slow down and come back into alignment with your own personal needs. And that will mean saying no to some things and putting down some of your responsibilities and putting down responsibilities that other people are trying to, responsibilities that aren't actually yours, but that other people may be trying to make your business. So, take some time to think about what actually is of concern to you and what isn't. And if it's something that is actually, not something that's energizing you or taking you into the direction that you want to be going, let it go. Okay, Aries? Taurus. Let's see what the message is for Taurus. What does Taurus need to know for this summer solstice? What's the message for Taurus? Ten of Swords in reverse. Anything else for Taurus? Tell me more about this Ten of Swords. Tell me more about this Ten of Swords. Justice in reverse. Anything else about Taurus for the summer solstice? We'll do one more maybe. Hierophant. Justice in reverse, Ten of Swords in reverse. Okay, so what is the lesson? There's a pretty big lesson to be learned, I think, recently, or that's going to come up. And that's going to do with your sense of justice and your sense of self-worth. I think some of you may have experienced some kind of big disappointment or betrayal lately, right? With these two sword cards, with the Lady Justice holding her sword as well. Like something in your life has caused you to really question or feel betrayed by not your own values necessarily, but by other people's rejection of those values, or other people's disregard of those values that you care about. So I think there's currently, Taurus, you're moving through, some of you could be moving through that hurt and that sense of, yeah, someone has hurt you. And the thing to remember that this summer solstice will bring is that the important thing is to think about the lesson you take away from it. Because as painful as this incident or this experience may have been, and it might mean that someone has had to be cut out of your life, or someone's decided to cut themselves out of your life, right? There's something that this experience is trying to teach you. So we kind of have our two great teachers here in Justice and in the Hierophant. And yeah, the summer solstice is just to kind of bear in mind that to not stay in the hurt for too long, to try to take away from it something that will help you in your future relationships, or in your future dealings. That basically knowing that you're coming out of this with one more life experience notch in your belt. You're coming out of this wiser. You're coming out of this more equipped to see and discern better the next time these situations come up in your life. Okay, Taurus? We're moving on to Gemini. Oh, this just flipped up. The Devil. This also flipped up. I don't know how that came flipped up, but the Devil and the Nine of Wands. Okay, so some of you could have Capricorn placements as well, or some of you could be dealing with a Capricorn. And Nine of Wands. So we've just finished up your season, Gemini, and I think for some of you may have had a lot of fun, right? Some of you may have been out there in your element, being your playful, flirtatious selves. Some of you may have just been, really indulging. And kind of the flip side of that is, some of you might be feeling a little bit exhausted by all that play and by all that, kind of seductive fun and play that's been going on. I think some of you may have been burned as well when it comes to your romantic relationships, and there could just be a sense of exhaustion and burnout relating to someone in your life that you have been obsessing over, and that maybe you've just been, really trying to fixate on, or try to chase, right? There's been some kind of addictive behavior that to an extent has been a welcome change with this season. But I think now, for those of you who are feeling a little like, you know, you've maybe played too hard, the summer solstice is a time to take a bit of a break, take a bit of a breather, and just chill out for a little bit. You know, chill a little bit. If you've been dealing with some kind of situationship, as this Devil card suggests, I think just be mindful that it's not crossing over into an unhealthy obsession, right? So that is your message for the summer solstice, Gemini. We're going to move on to Cancer. Cancer, your season is coming up, so let's see what. Oh, I like that. Look at that. Strength and the Lovers card. So Cancers, what's the message for Cancers right now? What's the message for Cancers during the summer solstice right now? What's the message for Cancers for summer solstice? Queen of Pentacles. Anything else for Cancers and the summer solstice? High Priestess in reverse. Okay, High Priestess in reverse and the Queen of Pentacles. So Cancers right now is a time for you to be, I would say, Queen of Pentacles suggests that this is a time to really be settling into the comforts of your daily life, right? And enjoying some domestic bliss. It could be, you know, just spending time nesting, spending time just being grateful for the things you have in your life, and that's both material things as well as, you know, the more the less personal possession things. So nature, the sense of like gratitude for for being in this world at the moment, finding this kind of quiet joy, and also tapping into your High Priestess, those watery depths. I mean, actually, you know, seeing that this is in reverse, I would say that if anything, maybe it's actually time to kind of focus on the things that are a little more tangible or a little more like material and concrete with the Pentacle sign, right? And not getting too caught up or going too deep into like ruminations, or just because, you know, as a water sign, you are inclined to operate that way, and to just, you know, allow to really be in your emotions. So I think a way to start to come out of that and to welcome in the summer solstice and welcome in the light and the warmth is to try to ground yourself. I think this Queen of Pentacles is a very grounding card. So the summer solstice, I think, is asking you to really ground yourself in your current reality, and literally, like, you know, just like feeling your sensory experiences and tapping into that and acknowledging the present moment as much as possible, from the very small things, right, of like enjoying your cup of coffee, or like sitting in your favorite armchair, or you know, looking out the window and seeing the view, or going out for a walk. Like, I think this is that time, the summer solstice, now that the light has kind of come back, things are warming up. there's a window for you to come out of the watery depths, right? That some of you might have been kind of brewing in over the cooler months, again, if you're in the northern hemisphere, and to kind of have both feet on the ground and to really feel solid, feel your own solidity in the current moment and finding comfort in that. Okay, so next we have Leos. Next is Leos. Let's see what's up with our fire sign Leo. What is the message for Leos during the summer solstice right now? What's the message for Leos? The Tower, what else? Tell me more about this Tower. The Sun, well, there you are, Leo, that's you. So what's going on? Seven of Swords and the Tower, and there you are, Leo, so all upright. Okay, so Leos, I think some of you, well, let's take a look at these two cards here. There we have our kind of classic self-doubt, self-sabotage card and the Tower. So what this tells me is that, you know, I don't think necessarily that anything super dramatic has actually happened. However, I think some of you may be dealing with a lot of catastrophizing thinking and mentality right now. And so I think this is what the summer solstice is asking you to release, because, you know, you're good, you're solid, or you at least are still going, you're still here, you're still shining, you're still standing in your truth and yourself. Your sense of self is still there. So whatever is going on in terms of, you know, what the thing that you might be scared of, or these thoughts that again are just kind of like thinking about the worst that could happen, or thinking that something bad is going to happen, like that, I think is the thing to let go of, or to try to work on letting go of, or at least just to catch yourself being aware of when these energies are cropping up, right? Because as soon as you even are able to acknowledge and just catch yourself and interrupt it a little bit, sometimes that's enough to help you pause and to just remember that that you're actually okay and you're going to be okay. Virgos is next. Let's see what's up with our Virgos. This kind of wanted to come out. Two of Cups in reverse. Anything else for Virgos about the summer solstice right now? What's the message for Virgos? Tell me more about this Two of Cups in reverse. Ace of Wands in reverse. Nine of Cups in reverse. Okay, so Virgos, I think right now for some of you, there may have been a relationship change going on, or that if you are in a longer term relationship, that's kind of been maybe going through some challenges where either or both parties have been feeling a little less emotionally fulfilled or a little less emotionally satisfied. Like the kind of flow hasn't been super strong lately. And so with the Ace of Wands, I think this is again speaking to that sort of lack of passion, the lack of drive that again might have been recently affecting your relationships or even just your personal life in general, or just your your attitude and your motivation. So the summer solstice, I think, is asking you to again just pay attention to that, and to acknowledge it, and to also know that, like, okay, this is where you're going to be coming out of, right? That this is the current starting position, and so from where this goes next is most likely that there is going to be an upturn. So trust, be patient with yourself. I think that is kind of the message, is that if you need to take more time, if you need to kind of still take it slow, to just not put pressure on yourself to feel like you have to be fixing everything, because this is the cycle you're in at the moment, and that cycle is always going to shift at some point. So hopefully, this will just kind of help validate some of you who have been feeling this way. And again, just know that the summer solstice kind of is a chance to welcome the new buds that will be sprouting soon. Because if you have been in hibernation, like, this is the kind of work deep down that's been taking place. Even if you can't feel it, things have been percolating, you have been absorbing and learning and growing, and at some point, all of this is going to turn around for you. So just be patient, Virgos. Libras is next. What is the message for Libras right now? What's the message for Libras during the summer solstice? 5 of Pentacles. Anything else for Libras right now? Okay. 2 of Wands, 3 of Pentacles, and 8 of Wands. All right, that's plenty. So let's take a look at this. 5 of Pentacles and 3 of Pentacles in reverse. So I would say right now, Libras, the summer solstice with these 2 cards here, I think some of you might be wanting to keep to yourself a little bit more. I think there's been a lack of trust in your life recently, and there's been some isolation, and that might be self-imposed, or that just might be the circumstances for you emotionally right now, that this sense of being in connection with others hasn't been feeling super strong. But that's why we have our 8 of Wands here, kind of telling you that there's going to be movement coming soon. And as well with the 2 of Wands, the advice, I think, is to stop thinking so much about the future, right? So I think some of the worries that have been going on around your career or around your finances, like, I think that's probably been top of mind recently. And the summer solstice is just asking you to take a break from that, take a break from the long-term thinking and trajectory and future strategizing, and instead just focus on what it is you need right now in this moment. What are the most immediate things that can make a difference to you right now, and the things that you do have control over, because there is so much that is actually out of your control circumstantially, but what are the actions that you are able to take the actions that you are able to initiate to maybe, you know, come out of isolation or come out of disconnection, and just to find something, to find some element of humanity or some kind of social connection, I think, is what I'm getting. This movement is to do with reconnecting socially with people. So that's your your summer solstice advice right there. Next, we have Scorpio. Okay, oops. All right, what is the message for Scorpios right now during the summer solstice? It's a lot of cards. Well, maybe we'll take these. Ace of Pentacles, oh, and Queen of Wands, and Seven of Cups. All right. Scorpios. I see a lot of opportunities, and this summer solstice is bringing you opportunity and options. Okay, so I love the look of that. This is also summer solstice here with I feel like this is that summer solstice embodiment, the Queen of Wands, that confidence, that light, that warmth, that openness. So some of you are going to be feeling a lot more, yeah, just open and open to receiving, open to giving, and open to opportunities. The finances are looking good, or you know, career opportunities are potentially looking good. And again, I think this is more just to do with like your mindset change, that some of you are going to start seeing things in a way that is more, that you're being primed to see more of the good, to see more of what's possible, and have curiosity again. This is a time for a lot of you to be exploring your options, whether that's in your professional life or your personal love life. The summer solstice is encouraging you to stay open and to stay curious. Okay, Sagittarius is next. Let's see, what is the message for Sagittarius? 10 of Swords in reverse again. So that was, we see that again, the Star, renewal. Oh yeah, this is plenty. This is a time, Sagittarius, of renewal. Libra also got 10 of Swords in reverse. So some of you may have Libra connections or Libra placements perhaps. There's also some Aquarius energy going on with the Star here. So this is a pretty clear story. Like the fact that the stars are coming out at the summer solstice, this is a time of actually deep renewal and deep contemplation, and coming out of something very painful, coming out of like a huge chapter has ended, and that chapter may actually not have ended in a good way. It may have ended in a very devastating and painful way. But the thing to remember is that the summer solstice does bring you this energy of renewal, of tending to yourself again, of reconnecting with yourself, and that of reconnecting with hope. So just know that like if things are kind of feeling like this right now, that this is kind of on the other side. And I think the summer solstice with these cards here, it's asking you to tend to yourself, tend to your own garden, tend to your own mind, your body, your spirit, nourish yourself, because I think a lot of you are at a very empty cup right now, right? That a lot has been drained out of you energy-wise. And so this is a time to be refilling that cup, refilling that pool, refilling yourself, and just loving yourself. Capricorn is next. See what is happening with Capricorn. What's the message for Capricorn? Hierophant again in reverse. Anything else for Capricorns? Six of Swords in reverse. Okay. Okay, Capricorns. So some of you, I think this summer solstice energy is going to be a little bit challenging because what I'm sensing is a kind of stubbornness right now. A stubbornness of not letting go. So there's something you guys are trying to hold on to, despite it no longer serving you, despite it having run its course. Some of you are still digging your heels in and trying to hold on to something that maybe didn't work out, that didn't have the outcome that you wanted, and you just aren't able to move forward from it. And that's also preventing you from seeing and gaining the lessons that you need from that experience, because you're still sitting in that place of wishing it was different, thinking that you can still change it somehow or make it different, or just I don't know. So Capricorns, this is your sign to, or this is kind of I guess a reminder that is this really working out for you right now? Like, does this feel good? Is this helping you find momentum forward, or is it keeping you stuck? And just becoming aware of these tendencies or of these attitudes can help you start to shift away from it and just kind of unlock that stubbornness, to just help you to maybe let go a little bit. Maybe not all the way, right? Maybe you're not there yet, but maybe you can kind of surrender a little bit. And in doing so, move towards the next chapter, move towards the next step, and also gain clarity in gain clarity in the lessons that the situation is trying to teach you. Okay, next is Aquarius. Well, these two came up actually, the Fool and the Three of Pentacles. Oh, and Eight of Cups in reverse. Okay, so Aquarians, this is a time as well for you to be moving away from certain connections that have run their course. But I think that's been happening with you, Aquarius, because I look at these two cards, and this is the kind of the summer solstice energy that's being brought in, right? We have the sun shining beautifully here. We have the Fool. So some of you, this is going to be a time to really embark on something new, embark on a new project, I think. Embark on some new partnerships or friendships or loveships. There's a sense of optimism at play. You're leaving behind, some of the maybe more. You've completed a process of grieving, I feel, and now this is a time that you can see things again in a more hopeful light, in a more motivating light, again in a more curious light, like you're ready to make plans with people, even just like socially speaking, right? You're just down to hang out and meet up and chat and talk, and yeah, there's just a beautiful energy here, Aquarius, for you to be leaning into, and it's all about making connections, making plans, making new plans, and harness this energy to dream big and to act on those dreams. I think this is a very powerful time for you to make some moves. All right, and lastly, we have our dear Pisces. Let's see what the message is for Pisces. What's the message for Pisces right now? The World. Okay. Let's see what these are. Another one. So we've had this Ten of Swords come up in reverse 3 times. So Pisces got it, Sagittarius got it, and I think it was Libra who got it. So a lot of you are coming to the end of a pretty big chapter in your life, a pretty big cycle, a pretty a tough lesson sort of that you've had to learn, or just a challenging life experience. But in terms of coming out of that, the summer solstice is offering you an opportunity to remake your world. This is about crafting the world that you do want to exist in. Our Eight of Pentacles here, I think for some of you, this is a time of really working hard at your plans, your craft. This could be, career related for sure, or it could be education related. Some of you could be returning to school or trying to supplement your skills right now, and so there's a real kind of diligence and studious energy at play. And this is all in service of this beautiful, holistic, balanced, harmonized world energy that you're trying to rebuild. So I think you guys are in a good place, even though this chapter has closed, right? You are moving on from it. This is what the summer solstice is all about, is leaning into the next chapter and continuing to work on yourselves, continuing to build the world that you want to see around you. Okay, so there you go. All right, everyone, I hope these summer solstice messages were helpful and encouraging and validating in some way. Let me know if anything resonated, or if you want to share any of your kind of experiences or thoughts lately in this interesting time. I'd love to hear how you're doing. So I'll see you in the next reading. Bye.